whole lives.
Okay. So you're also telling me that I don't need to order those guys to do anything because A, they're not going to do it. B, they're not involved, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So with
Blake has already lost custody of his other children that he has with other people.
I know. I think I did that. I know him.
Okay. So he's not involved. He hasn't been involved with my kids in 11 years. Corbin is 11.
Okay. So, ma'am, you don't have any objection with me what's called a non-suit, which basically means dismissing the men from the lawsuit and the two attorneys that were appointed to represent them, correct?
No, I don't, because like I said, they're not involved. Why involve them now?
Right. And sometimes we don't want people to come out of the woodwork, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're not going to disrupt my children more than we already are.
Right. Okay. Okay. Does anybody have any lawyers? Y'all have any objection to Mr. Ferguson and Mr. Kelly being non-suited, and Mr. Grove and Ms. McClure being released from further representation?
No objection.
I don't.
No objection.
Okay. Ms. Stiglitz, that means that you're it. Okay.
It's over, Ben, ma'am. So that's fine.
Okay. I just want to make sure that you're okay. Okay. Okay, Mr. Grove, Ms. McClure, I don't know if y'all have anything else, but we'll start the docket in just a little bit, okay?
Okay, Judge, you excusing us now, or you want to stick around?
Y'all can go and be excused.
Okay, I'll be back, I think, at 11, so I'll see you then, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Hi.
Wait, hold on. Mr. Grove.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you replace? Oh, yes, that's the case. You replaced Miss McClure on, right?
Yes, ma'am. Gillespie.
Yes. Okay, sorry. I've been in some changes lately, and I'm trying to keep with who's on first. So, okay, we're good.
I've had motivational conversations with her. I think we're going to see some changes.
Okay, good.
Really?
Okay, so Mr. Shermer, do you have a plan for services in this case?
I'm sorry, you asking what services?
Yes, sir.
I believe that the department's requesting that mother participate in individual therapy, to have a mental health evaluation conducted, and to follow recommendations, to submit to random drug testing, and to really just be proactive with the children's medical appointments, and to allow the department to have access to those records and be able to follow up to ensure that she's getting them proper care that they need, and then obviously just allowing access to the home and the children for the department and the ad items.
Okay. Ma'am, like I said earlier, the quicker we can get these things going, the quicker, we get out. A really, really important one is Miss Mystic represents the children as their attorney ad litem. And if Miss Mystic, the department's going to be involved in the case anyway, okay? But if Miss Mystic can come out to the home, see the kids, make sure everything's good, that'll help. That'll really help us get done quicker.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, she can.
And she might have to do it more than once. She might have to talk to kids at school, blah, blah. You understand. Okay. Miss Chandler, what do y'all need today, ma'am?
That's all that we needed today, Your Honor. Miss Stiglitz is more than happy to work these services and to get through this case.
Okay. Let's see. I'm seeing when I'm getting.
They took my grieving all the way.
Hold on, Miss Stiglitz. I can't hear you. Be quiet while we're in court. Miss Mystic, what do you need?
So I did have a good visit with Miss Stiglitz, and I think it was just she just didn't really understand. And we're gonna set something up where she brings them on my Friday. We're gonna set that up when I do my pro se clinic afterward. I did want to make the court aware that she is living in the home with her brother Frank Stiglitz, who I represent his son Asen, not a CPS case, in another case, and she had no problem with me doing that. And I think Mr. Sturmer's firm represents Mr. Stiglitz as well in the same case that I'm in. So I didn't bring that up. I figured Mr. Sturmer could bring that up, but just wanted to make sure there was no problem. She and Crystal expressed the kids have moved to a new school, which she would rather I not go to the school. And I said, as long as she's giving me access and she and I can work it out where I can talk to them privately, and I'm not going to pop up at the school. I said CPS. That's a different, they can do it, but just so that they're kind of starting out fresh, but we'll get something set up. as far as services. I mean, as far as visits, excuse me.
Okay. Ms. Stiglitz, on the record, you understand Miss Mystic's representation on your brother, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have any problem with that?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Sounds like it's all kind of the same. Making sure all the kids are okay. Now I am going to order, and don't freak out till I get done. I am going to order Miss Mystic 24/7 access to the kids and to you and to the schools. But I like the plan. I mean, I just have to put that in the order just in case, all hell breaks loose and you don't let her.
No, ma'am, it's not going to. I'm you ain't gonna have any problems out of me, I promise.
Okay, but you understand where I'm coming from. Okay. And yeah, and I don't want, I'd rather the children be seen in their own environment versus a school environment anyway, because it's more realistic,
Yeah.
Okay.
Kaylee's a completely different person too at school than she is at home. So
Sure. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're worse. You never know. So, okay. Well, I'm going to do agreed participation services. Miss Mystic is allowed 24/7 access to Miss Stiglitz, the children in their schools. Ma'am, we're going to have a compliance hearing in 2 months. Okay? And hopefully everything will be going well. Sometimes we get out then, sometimes we need a little bit longer. It just kind of depends. Department it won't be Mr. Manning. It'll be some other group called Family-Based Safety Services. Some of the folks are here. You might know them. But keep in touch with Miss Mystic. Keep in touch with Miss Chandler. And like I said, let's zoom in and let's zoom out, okay?
yes, ma'am.
Also, while I have everybody here, does everybody agree that future hearings can be held via Zoom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Also, for the record, I forgot to say this. Hold on, Miss Royce, I think put something in the chat. Let me see what it says. They have hired a transporter. That's good. It sounds like they'll have somebody that'll help with your services, whatever that means. Also, for the record today, I was supposed to be in Gatesville, but I have emergency appointment at 3:00. I'm going to be zooming all day. Does anybody have any objection to that? No. Okay. Well, Ms. Stiglitz, keep in touch, and let's see. Worker assigned to this case.
Okay. Now, do you need the other copy?
Hold on, ma'am. Miss Crystal, tell them to be quiet for a second, please. Miss Royce, who's going to be the caseworker?
Tanisha Goss.
Okay. So Miss Goss will be, remember that name, Miss Crystal, Tanisha Goss, okay?
Mhm.
She'll be in touch with you pretty soon.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody need anything else?
When you were talking about transportation, I just wanted you to know, Judge, that February 3rd, I have a person that's all they do is transport. So I'm super excited.
Okay. Yay. Okay. Miss Stiglitz, you're going to get hooked up with that person to transport around, and we'll see what we can figure out. Okay.
Okay.
Okie doke. Okay. Thank y'all. Everybody's excused. Bye.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Good luck. Thank you. And we're doing a services review. Miss McClure. See with their SSI packet, had to redo that. I think that she's an adult. I have a question. So, Cheyenne gets her own money. I was wondering if
hold on.
somebody needs to be quiet. The HSC hasn't paid yet. I know they were submitting an invoice. So, Mr. Ochoa, those are questions that I just have. It sounds like Cheyenne's doing well.
Cheyenne is doing well. She just she had a gallbladder surgery. She's doing well from that. So after our last court hearing, the issues with the whole SSI and ability options becoming payee, all of that and the above and getting paid, myself and Vicky Israel, CASA supervisor, and Miss Rudd, who's on this call, we all got on and finally, and the disability specialist got on and got the invoices, got what we needed. I got an email as of yesterday from Jennifer Bridges, who's the support division, stating that she received the invoices she needs and is able to is setting up payment to pay ability options, all of their back pay. So that is being taken care of immediately. then the issue became Cheyenne becoming her own payee with maybe Miss Rudd or Ability Options being like a backup or support. And Miss Rudd is on, so she can explain what happened there.
Sure, thank you very much. Currently, I'm the rent payee, and for Cheyenne, we went for security so that she can be our own rent payee, of course, when she turns 18. So we have to do a package. Social Security give us a package, which we have to do fast before they do that, and that is Form SSA 827 for Social Security form. So we filled that in and we turned it into Social Security. So for last week on Wednesday. So now we are just waiting in the process. It's a process which they take. As soon as they finish that process, then Cheyenne can be our own rep payee. But currently I am the rep payee.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Rudd.
Thank you.
What will happen, Ms. Rudd or Ms. Ochoa, about future payments to the HSC with this money Cheyenne gets, or does it have anything to do with B, or somebody? Do y'all understand my question?
Yeah. Go ahead, Miss Rudd. I'm sorry.
Yes. If I understand your question, are you asking about the SSI money or regular?
I'm asking, how are y'all getting paid in the future, ma'am?
For the care, she is in ATS, so she's in a program of HSC ATS. So we get that money to take care of her.
Okay, so the money we're changing, the representative payee and all that didn't have anything to do with y'all getting paid in the future, correct?
No, ma'am, because the HSC through ATS contract, they pay for the services, which is different from SSI. SSI pays for her room and board and personal care. So basically our invoices are only pending for room and board. That's what SSI pays for.
Okay.
Yes, so ATS is paying us for services. That's when we've always been paid for it.
Okay, so this
Yes,
money that Cheyenne gets, once we get it redirected and Cheyenne becomes her own payee, what is Cheyenne to use that money for?
She will pay rent, she'll pay for her cell phone, and the rest is for her own personal use. Hygiene, galley stuff, nails, movies, that's what she uses the rest of the money for.
So basically she'll be paying y'all, not some government agency, correct?
Yes, she'll be paying for her own rent. Yes, not government agency.
And do y'all just kind of stay on them and remind them, hey, your rent's due? How do y'all do that?
Actually, she's very aware of it because like right now when I'm rep payee, I walk her through it. We have invoice, which she signs a contract, how much rent is, a yearly contract, how much her rent is. So basically I have a Social Security card. So beginning of the month, we withdraw rent. Then every Friday we go to the bank and she withdraws allowance. Then she uses the same card to pay for her phone. So we're going to continue the same thing.
Okay. Does she get, is it guesstimated that she's going to get enough to cover rent, cell phone, movies, nails, all that kind of stuff?
Yes, it's standard though. SSI is usually standard. So like this year, it was 943 as of last year. So this year is 967. So it's standard. No matter how much rent it is, or matter cost it is, it's standard. So it's going to be 967. Out of 967, we cannot charge her more than a 10%. We have to leave money for her. So we usually have a standard room and board from HSC, how much we can charge the individual.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Leaving her 10% left. Is that what you said?
Yes. So we have to leave her enough money whereby she can take care of her personal, her personal needs.
Okay.
But also we have HSC showing us how much we can take from the SSI.
Okay.
So we have that form, which is the contract which Cheyenne will sign beginning of every year.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I got it. I understand. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Mm-hmm.
That's very helpful. Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
While we have Ms. Rudd here, Ms. Mystic, Ms. McClure, do y'all have any questions, or Ms. Sturmer of Ms. Rudd?
I don't.
What is the rent? I know you said she signs it, but I didn't hear.
It's room and board. She lives in a group home whereby
Right.
there's only 3 individuals. So
Right.
they all share rent. So she has her own room, which she does not share. That is her own room. So basically, she pays rent for it. So each
Right, how
individual
much?
pay 816.
816.
16.
Yeah, 816. Yeah, yes.
And then from that 967, she does
Mhm.
her cell phone and then allowance.
That is correct.
Okay.
Ma'am, does the room and board cover food?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So about 100, I can't do the math in my head. So about $150.
Yes, 115.
150.
115 actually. Yes.
115.
Yeah.
50.
50. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how much cell phones are, but that doesn't seem,
They're 40.
I
Yeah,
know.
it's $40. It's not a lot of money left, but she's taken care of. We take care of her. We're in the middle of her getting a job. We've already we have a process going on with the Hayes Center and Texas Workforce. So she's interested in getting a job. She knows exactly where she want to go, Toyota Center. So as soon as she gets that, then she can, of course, it's life skills, and she can also supplement her personal use with it.
If she gets a job, ma'am, will that change her social security money?
We make sure that she gets a job whereby they're required to work so many hours. We don't want that to change, not for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe in the future it does, but it goes to social security disability. So it's still her money, but she pays on disability. But that's some, going forward years to come. So that's something we just work on as years goes by.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So she would work at the Toyota Center whenever they have events, it sounds like. Is that correct?
Yes, they work concession centers. So
Right.
basically, they do take individuals with special needs. They know what their needs are. So basically, the supervisor watching her, they are training her, and connected, of course, to us, to me, who is the job coaching person, with any communication of concern.
Are y'all near the Toyota Center?
No, so we have applied for Metro. So Metro, we are in Southwest. So it's more like a 30 minutes drive to downtown. So
Okay.
she'll use Metro ride, which picks her from the home, take her to work, and pick her from work, bring her back home.
By herself?
Yes, ma'am, she can do it. It's a training.
She can do it?
Yes, she can do it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. I've watched her since we had her like 14. And yes, we have trained her. That's really what we train, those life skills. Yes, she can do it.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I know where the Toyota Center is, and I understand where I'm from Houston, so I get it. So I was just
She's in good hand, Your Honor.
thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Ms. McClure, any questions or any comments?
No, ma'am. I'm glad she's doing well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Mystic. You're good.
I'm good. Yeah, she answered everything, and I think everybody did a great job getting all this information to everybody.
Yeah, sounds like all our questions are kind of being put to rest, don't y'all think? Okay. Just let's see, Mr. Michaela, I'm not sure, I'm horrible with names. Anything else that, sir, Mr. Kyle, let's just say that. Anything else you need to add, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm just gonna say everything continue now that we got all this stuff worked out. She's in, help me, she's in extended care, isn't she? Or are we just in trial independence? I can't remember which one we're in.
Well, she signed an extended care agreement.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's just do the same thing with Shane. Let's come back on 5-7 also, okay? We'll see where we're at, okay? Let's see, the Toyota Center, that's where the Rockets play. So that'll be fun. Hopefully she'll get that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, next hearing, 5/7/25. I'm just gonna say everything continue. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Y'all are excused. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You weren't here earlier. Let me swear you in. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay. Sounds like Logan is back with you now, going enrolled in school down there. I don't know. I hope he's doing well. I mean, it sort of sounded positive from the reports, but I don't know. So Mr. Sturmer, you may begin, please.
Judge, I'd just like to call Shandell Simmons briefly.
Okay.
Ms. Simmons, can you update the court? I know that you included some information in your report, but can you elaborate on how the child's doing in the home and how things are going?
Things are going great in the home. Logan said that that's where he wants to be. He is started back up with Baca coming over. His therapy starts on February 3rd. He'll start therapy. He is enrolled in school, which he will also receive therapy in school as well. He seems that like that's where he wants to be. He haven't had any behavior issues. He's been taking his medications like he's supposed to. And he just said that he wants to be with his mom.
So what's the plan for the department going forward?
Going forward, we just would like to make sure that, he actually gets into therapy and kind of start doing therapy. And then if that goes well, we'll ask to be dismissed.
Okay. Anything else you need to make the court aware of?
No.
I'll pass the witness.
Anybody else have any questions of Ms. Simmons? Ms. Simmons, what is his attitude about going to counseling?
He says he's going to go to counseling. I think him and mom, discussed it, and he understands that he has to do the counseling. He doesn't want to go back to a RTC. So he says he's willing to do counseling.
You better. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Ms. Simeon, what do you need?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no. As far as I need anything, nothing. Logan, like everybody's saying, he started school last Wednesday because of the weather. They've been out the last couple of days. He's doing really well in school so far. He's doing track right now, and then he's hoping for summertime to do 7-on-7. It's a very small school from, I guess, what he's used to. There's only like 570 kids, so the teachers, keep an eye on everyone, and with his situation because of the records, they told him, if he needed anything, all they had to do. So it was very welcoming for him, and he's really enjoyed it. And then, like Miss Chandel said, there's no behavioral issues, there's no conflicts. I mean, typical teenager boy might say something or try to pop off. Mom gives him the mom look, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. Let me redo that." Like he's home, he's happy, he's thriving, and like she said, he will be starting counseling on February 3rd because that is the soonest I could get him when I found one.
Is it Zoom telemed or is it in person?
Yes, she's going to do probably the first couple of ones at Zoom telemed, and then if we have to go into the office, we'll go to the office. But they've made not recommendations, but they've made arrangements to make it easier on me because they know I don't have a vehicle at this moment.
Okay. Where is the counselor's office if y'all need to go?
Webster. No, I'm sorry, Deer Park. So it's like a 40-minute drive from here.
Okay. How are y'all getting around if you don't have a car? Sorry.
Well, his high school is within walking distance, but he rides the bus to and from school, and then I walk to work because my work's right down the street from his job, from his school, excuse me.
Okay.
And if I need groceries delivered or anything, I get delivery done.
Okay. Does he realize that I don't like a negative attitude about him going to counseling?
I think he does. I mean, I've even told him about the counseling and how it's important to go to help with the healing process. And, he didn't really put up a fight about it when I told him, hey, your first therapy appointment is going to be on this time. And like Ms. Chandel also said, they have a counselor within the school district that kind of floats between the schools. And they're trying to make an appointment with him when she gets to the high school. So she can meet him and they can sit down and talk. So he's going to kind of have two sets of counseling, one outside of school and then one inside of school.
Does the counselor in Deer Park have all the records about the initial abuse and then, like why Logan was removed and as to why Logan had to go to Pegasus? Does she or he know the whole deal?
I don't know. Like all I told them was basically what was told to me about him needing to be in counseling for sexual assault as well as sexual aggression. And she dealt with those, his age group, basically. The other two that I had called they were only focusing on adults.
Okay. Mr. Brown, Miss Mystic, one of y'all might need to talk to his therapist because I can see Logan going in there going, me? I didn't do anything. I don't know anything, and not getting the full benefit of the therapy or the therapist being told the whole story. Y'all understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Bianca will
Yes.
send me the info. And to Cost as well, of course, but.
Yes. Miss Simeon, send it to Dory or to send counselor information to Dory and she'll send it to Mr. Brown and we can get everybody on the same page. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Like SAP, because we're supposed to start counseling on the
3rd, February 3rd.
And counselors aren't always Johnny on the spot about returning phone calls.
Yeah, as soon as we're done with this, I'll send the name and the number and to Miss Mystic.
Cool. Okay, thank you. Anything else from me, ma'am?
No, ma'am, I don't believe so.
Okay, good. Mr. Brown, what's up? You're muted. You're muted, Mr. Brown.
It's good to hear that he's doing well, and I hope he stays on that trajectory and not default back to woe is me, that kind of thing, and move from this taking advantage of the situation. He's very crafty, but it's good to hear that he's doing well at home. And hopefully this will work out And with the counselor having the complete context of his history, will make a better means to provide counseling for him.
I agree that totally crafty. I like that word. That's a good word. Perfect. Miss Mystic.
So yeah, Logan's been texting me. We've been texting back and forth. So I'm glad to hear he reaches out, and he's the type you say, "How are you?" and then he writes back, "How are you?" So anyway, talked to him about making friends, and hoping Bianca's still monitoring phone and internet, and letting the school know, kind of needs to keep an eye on him, and I'm glad it's smaller. That helps. But I will definitely, as soon as I get the number, I'll reach out to the therapist. But I think things are going well in the home. That's where he wants to be.
Well, and it's good he's getting back in sports too. That's fun.
Yeah, that's always healthy.
Have a good group, and I like that. So I mean, all kids need activities.
Yes.
And, I know Miss Simeon says Hitchcock is smaller than where he was, but to me, Hitchcock's pretty dang big. So anyway, that's good. Okay, well, the only thing I'm going to order is CASA and attorney ad litem to contact the child's counselor, give background info, everything, give y'all's take on everything. Next hearing is going to be on 4/16. Okay. Okay, thank y'all. Good report. Tell Logan hi.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Amen. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, looks like Grayson's doing great in his placement. Miss Mystic sent me some cool pictures. Cool. Yeah, they were cool. They were in the snow. But some good pictures, and he's just blowing and going with his foster brother, and just cute as he can be. Mr. Shermer, what do you need?
Don't believe I need anything today, Judge.
Okay, department.
Good morning, Your Honor. The case just came over to adoptions earlier this month, so we actually are scheduled to go and meet Grayson and his caregivers this Friday. We're looking forward to it, and they've sent us a list of his many activities and photographs, and it does sound like he's doing very well.
Okay. I've known the home because we had another child placed there. And if we get towards adoption on one, I'd like to do adoption on two if we get to that, if we get there. So I don't want to have to piecemeal. We don't absolutely have to. I know that they have Miss Hyde represents him on their other case. So feel 1,000% positive Miss Hyde's going to be representing him, excuse me, on Grayson. So y'all can just contact Miss Harmon if y'all need anything.
Great, will do. Thank you.
Okay, Miss Israel, what do y'all need?
We are golden. Grayson and his sibling are doing so well together. On a couple of times that I've visited them, it's funny that they both accept redirection from the parents. It's almost comical. It's so cute. But they are busy. There was some appointments that were held in December for some articulation and speech, but they are addressing that there might be some fluid behind the eardrums, and they're going to follow up in February to make sure that we don't need tubes. But outside of that, they're just two little boys doing little boy things, and they're happy and content and in a very good place.
Okay. Good. Miss Mystic.
I echo that. It's just amazing how they bonded and are siblings that quickly. And that just attests to that home. Oh, excuse me. And just to update, we were receiving messages from the former foster parent that she had plans to intervene in this suit, and I got a message that that's not happening. So that's not an area that we're going to have to deal with on that, just to kind of update everybody, and y'all may have already known that, but otherwise I'm hoping we can do a dual adoption as well.
Okay. It seems weird that Grayson paperwork could all be done for adoption before when that case is so much older than Grayson's case.
Right.
But I understand the difference. So, okay, well, I'm going to say everything continue, and we're going to put this off. Maybe we'll have an adoption between now and our next hearing date is going to be 5/7. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Thank you. And I forgot, I'm confused. My docket says one thing. We moved things back. I don't know. I'm confused on time. So anyway, I'm here. So everybody that's here, let me make sure that everybody, yeah, everybody else is good. Okay. Thanks. Bye. You swear affirm the testimony you have to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Normandin. Okay, this is our status hearing. Let's see. Wish I could read my writing. CPS confer with, I have to come back to that one. I can't read that. Talked about a hair strand. Mom needs some evaluations, drug testing, some of the stuff that the child has been given has smelled like marijuana. Something else smelled like marijuana. Child is is pretty close to the parents and is doing well. I don't know. I did this I did this like 2 nights ago, and I did it, and I can't even read my dang writing. So, Mr. Sturmer, you may begin, please.
Judge, could the attorneys briefly go to a breakout room?
Yes, sir. And Casa?
Yes, that'd be fine.
Okay. Ms. Simpson, if you can stand, please.
Judge, we're back.
Okay.
At the last hearing, you had ordered an expedited home study on the paternal grandparents. The department couldn't start the home study until they got the order, which the order wasn't filed, so I believe the 17th of January. So they're in the process of doing the home study now. The attorneys and CASA just met in the breakout room, and everybody's agreed to just reset this hearing today so that we can get more time to get that home study completed. Because I do believe that Ms. McClure is asking for the grandparents that the home study's ordered on to be considered for placement.
Okay. Let me look at the dates. Well, 2-5 or 3-5 are our options.
This is ordered to be expedited. So I think 2-5 would be enough time for the home study. CPS department, can y'all tell me if y'all think that that's going to give us enough time?
Hi. Unfortunately, we are not able to send that expedited just because of the date that it was signed versus the date that I received it. I can say I sent it out. Everything's been sent out of this morning. As of this morning, everything's been signed. I just don't know what the turnaround's going to look like on that, unfortunately.
I don't think 2-5 is gonna be good. I think we probably should do 3-5.
Bill?
Ms. Sturmer, I wonder if we did a standalone order you could send to me today for an expedited, if that would help. I still think it means 30 days.
I mean, it's the language is in the order that was sent to the department. So, I don't know. Ms. McClure, is 3-5 too far out for y'all?
Well, I'm a little perturbed. I don't understand why it's taken this long to get it started, and why that since it hasn't been started yet, now it can't be done as an expedited. I like Judge's idea of a new standalone order expediting it. I don't understand what the problem is.
Well, there's always a delay. Mr. Sturmer doing the order, me signing the order. We got that. We know that. So that's a little bit of a delay. I mean, I'm happy to, like I said, sign an expedited, but that even gives us 30 days. So that would still be the 22nd.
Well, that would be before the 5th of March. So yeah, I'd rather do that so that we
You're
could
not
get,
getting a hearing between the 22nd and the 5th of March anyway. I'm already set, and we have, ad litem training, and that's going to be the earliest you can. And I mean, I could do it February. Okay. I could do it like February 25th.
could we tentatively put that down in case it is in by then?
Hold on, let me check. I don't have anything the 24th, but the 25th is already a court date, so that's probably better. Let me look at I know it's a crazy docket that day, so we have to cram y'all in.
And if it's not in, if they just let us know it's not back yet, within 2 or 3 days before that, then we could do the backup of 3-5.
Yeah, right. We could probably do it about 2:15, but I have a trial that starts at 2:30 that's already been set, and I mean it's like 3-county day, so this will be 4. So I mean you'd only have 15 minutes. So if everybody wants to do a bunch of arguing, it's not going to happen that day.
Well, Your Honor, the way I look at it is either it's going to be approved and hopefully everybody will agree to it and it won't be that big a deal, or it's going to fail, but at least we know why it failed and we can proceed if we can fix the problems.
Well, or you could do some arguing the next week.
Sure.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I'd really appreciate
that. That's a Tuesday. Everybody clear on that one?
I have Judge Sims's court on Tuesdays. But if y'all can work out a custody schedule for me, then I can do both.
Do y'all usually go till 2:15 in the afternoon?
Sometimes, yes.
Well, let's just put it down because it might not be a. So let's say 2:15 on 2/25. Okay, so Ms. Shermer, I don't have any reset orders, so y'all just going to do with me. Y'all going to do a reset notice to 2/25/25 at 2:15. Parents, y'all still have a service plan. You have to comply, or your parental rights could be subject to termination. I am going to go on and put. I am going to order an expedited home study. Ms. Shermer, if you want to, and that's on the paternal grandparents, right, Ms. McClure?
That is correct.
You want to send me a standalone order today? I'll sign it and on my email and send it right back to you.
Okay.
I really appreciate that. Thanks to everybody.
Yeah, a home study to be immediately circulated upon receipt. Had a question come up yesterday that one of the department people said if a home study is denied, that if it's denied, it's granted, no big deal. That's easy. But if it's denied, there's a little on the last page, there's a little box that says home study denied or not approved, placement not approved or something. I can't remember what the box says, but it said that it didn't have. It said if it's not on the form says if it's not approved, some other form has to be attached. So listing out the reasons for the non-approval. Okay. Well, yesterday I had a supervisor and a worker allegedly say, we can't give that attachment stuff because it contained criminal history, CPS history, blah, blah, blah. I've never heard that before because I've plenty of times gotten the stuff, the extra couple of pages showing the denial reasons. Because, CPS isn't the one doing the home study, it's some outside provider, and they just make, concerns or no concerns, and they just say, y'all ever heard that, y'all even know what lawyers, y'all even know what I'm talking about, those little extra attachments or CASA? Okay. I mean, have y'all ever heard that that stuff can't be given out? Me neither. So department, when that comes in, if it's good, great, yay. If it's not approved, make sure those other little form thingies are attached, because to me, that's the important stuff. Like Ms. McClure said, if it's not approved, then we know why and we can work on it. If you don't know, you don't know. Ms. Moore?
Could I ask if everybody would be comfortable with some UAs for the grandparents? I think that that's one of the main concerns. So if those came back good, that might alleviate a lot of our concerns.
Well, I think that's a swell idea. Ms. McClure, you're paternal people.
Well, I mean, they've already submitted all the different tests that the courts asked for. I thought that based on those drug results, that then the department said, well, now we need a home study. So now we're trying to get the home study done. I'm just, I feel like the ball keeps getting moved, and everything that they do, they're told, we'll do something else.
What did they do drug-wise, the grandparents?
I believe they did a UA, and I think they also did a hair strand. And Alex, give us a thumbs up if they also did a hair strand.
Sorry, I know you said for a thumbs up. They did not do a hair strand because, we ruled that a hair strand would be a guaranteed failure due to the recent marijuana use at the time, but they did pass a mouth swab. And then they were also ordered to do a UA that you didn't order through CPS, which that they did fail, but they had only been given about 5 days notice before that UA. So the mouth swab passed because they got rid of everything. They stopped doing everything.
Do you think that they would understand that being willing to go do another UA would give one more layer of security to the people that need to make this decision?
Yeah, another UA would definitely, they wouldn't have a problem doing that. They both have their work schedules right now, so we'd have to figure something out with that. But otherwise, I mean, they'll do whatever it takes to make sure we get their grandson back in the house, my son back in the house.
Okay, well, here's what I'm going to order. I'm going to order with results back before the next hearing. Okay. So I'm not going to say when. I'm not going to say anything. I mean, we need to make sure it's enough time, like Mr. Alex says, to give time for it to go through everybody's system and stuff, and make sure it's not new use.
Thank you, Judge.
I think that's a good idea, Ms. Moore. Ms. Kay, you agree?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Kay, you need anything?
Not today. I had a meeting with the placement. I mean, obviously my client can't talk, but he was just fat and delicious. He's working on his double chin, which was great considering that he came in with some, problems eating and gaining weight and everything. And I'm super pleased with the progress that he's made in the placement that he's in. Obviously family is better if it can be safe and appropriate. But for right now, the foster family is doing a great job.
Okay. And Miss Davis is doing well. You know what? Let's just do this. Let's just have the status hearing today, and we'll set that for a special. I'll call that a special hearing on 225. Okay. Let's just do that because we're talking about service plan. We know mom needs some extra time. Dad's working the services. Mom has some, knows that she's not ready to have baby back into the home. Status hearing today. So we'll just call that a special setting. Okay. So Mr. Shermer, for status purposes, what do you need?
Judge, I think I just need the service plans to be made in order of the court.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Chandler, what do y'all need?
Your Honor, right now, I think everything is going great. My client hasn't raised any concerns with me. As far as I know, things are going well.
Okay, Ms. McClure, I think you kind of covered a lot.
Yes, and I appreciate everybody being willing to work with everyone on that. I just, it's like Ms. Kay said, if we can get appropriate and safe family, then let's do that.
Okay. Ms. Moore, y'all need anything?
No, Your Honor, since filing my report, I was able to go see the grandparents' home. And there were like a couple of things that Alex was going to do, but nothing concerning. There was no smell of marijuana use in the home. No safety concerns in the home. He welcomed me in. And I've had a chance to talk to Miss Lyric as well since filing my report. And she was just very honest and definitely wants to see Jase, but is still working on some things like a job, a vehicle. And then my visit with Jase was amazing and he's doing great.
Okay, good. Miss Kay, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, well, let me do this. Okay, approve the service plans and make them order of the court. Parents are already working on them. That's good. I'm going to say we're going to have a special hearing at 2:15 on 2/25/25 about the paternal grandparent home study. They are to hair strand. The home study is to be immediately circulated to attorneys and costs upon receipt by CPS. The paternal grandparents are to UA with results returned by the next hearing. And I mean the 2/25/25 hearing. Everybody get out their pens and I'll give y'all our court dates. And we don't need a reset or a special notice hearing because I'll put it on the scheduling order, Mr. Sturmer. Our special hearing about the paternal grandparents home study is set at 2:15 on 2/25/25. Our first permanency hearing is, hold on, I got two different dates. Let me look real quick. First hearing is 4/16/25. First permanency hearing. Second one is 7/23/25. Our final trial, if we get that far, is 10/22/25, and our dismissal date is 12/8/25. Okay. Parents, like I said, y'all have service plans. You have to comply or your parental rights can be subject to termination. We're on a good track and keep our fingers crossed about the home study and the UAs, and I'll see y'all in February. And Miss McClure, yeah, let us know a couple of days. If it's not back, then just let everybody know so nobody has to show up on the 25th, and then we can just reset it till the 5th. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Thank y'all. Good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Carl here. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay. This is our permit hearing. We're in an extension. Little Matthew is with Mr. Carl's clients. Let's see. He seems like he's doing well. Let's see. And the report I read said something about Mr. Gillespie having a probation violation or a parole violation. I don't know which one it is. That's a big difference. Mom's been positive. Dad hasn't done anything on service plan. I need some maternal relative to do hair strand and fingerprints. But we mostly need the parents to work on the service plan. And Miss McClure has been released and Mr. Grove has been substituted representing Miss Gilbert. So that's what I have, the highlights I have from the report. So Mr. Sturmer, you may begin, please.
Before we call witnesses, can I address my intervention?
Yes, sir.
Just so that I'm able to cross-examine. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I lost you there, Yon.
I thought we already talked about your intervention before. No?
I think the agreement a couple months ago was that after my clients get past the 12-month mark, which they did on December 6th, I was going to file an amended petition, alleged 12 months of time. I have that now, and I did that on the couple of days after our 12 months. So I have an amended petition. I don't know if my intervention has formally been granted. I do know that respondent mother has a motion to strike on file. I don't know if that needs to be heard today or if we need a ruling on that, but I would like to participate in today's hearing or have the opportunity to.
Right. Well, it got the 12 months now. So, Mr. Grove, have you had an opportunity to discuss that?
Judge, I've not had an opportunity to discuss Mr. Carl's intervention with my client. I appreciate Mr. Carl refiling. I'm certainly not going to go back on any agreement that Ms. McClure had with Mr. Carl. I would ask the court to allow Mr. Carl to participate today and then consider resetting his motion to intervention and my motion to strike at another date that's convenient for the court after having an opportunity to speak with my client about it.
You have the motion to strike anymore, correct?
I'm sorry, Judge, I missed the first half of that.
To even explore whether you even need to pursue the motion to strike, correct?
I have a good idea what the court's going to do if we were to have a motion to strike hearing, and I'm going to communicate that with my client. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So y'all just email amongst yourself, and if there's an agreement, there is, fine. I'm gonna let Mr. Carl go on and participate today anyway. And okay, are you okay, Mr. Carl, with what?
Yeah, that's fine for me, Your Honor. Yeah, we can address jurisdiction anytime in the future if we need to.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So there we got that. Mr. Sturmy, go on.
I'd like to call Celine Murphy briefly.
Okay. Let's see. Ms. Murphy.
Good morning.
Morning.
Ma'am, can you update us on the status of the father in this case?
So I actually got a text message from Mr. Gillespie, I believe it was last Friday, and that was the first time I heard from him since October 4th. He informed me that he had just been going through some things, and after he did get shot, he did express to me that he was taking some pretty hardcore prescriptions due to the pain that they gave him, and then that kind of led him on the path to using drugs again. But he did inform me that he will get in touch with OSAR to see what their recommendations are, and this was yesterday.
Okay, so it's his intention, as far as you know, to continue working his service plan?
Correct.
Okay. As for the mother, I know that she's continued to work services, but she has had some recent positives for methamphetamines. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Is the department making any new recommendations for her now that she has had those positive tests?
Due to that, our recommendations as far as the permanency goals did change, and I did put that in the report. It changed from the primary being family reunification to the primary being relative fictive kin adoption.
Is the department asking for her to participate in any new services now, though?
No, sir, not as far as that. She did get signed back up in therapy, and she started doing that on the 20th of December. And we do have, it's not reflected in my report, but we do have a recent urinary analysis from the 17th that is negative.
Regarding the child's placement, how is the child doing in the home at this time?
Matthew Jr. is doing very well. The foster family are very good at making sure he is on time for all appointments, and that all of his needs are met.
And the department is conducting a home study, I believe, on a maternal uncle. Is that correct?
That's correct.
What's the status of the home study?
We are still waiting for the approval of the home study from our upper management. We did request that he do a hair strand test, and so we are also waiting on that in order to send that up to be reviewed.
Anything else you'd make the court aware of?
No, sir.
Pass the witness.
Anybody have any questions, Ms. Murphy?
I have just a couple.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you mentioned medical appointments for the child. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Those are related to breathing issues he's having?
Yes, he did have a recent medical appointment at the ER for some respiratory breathing issues.
And he has chronic croup, is that correct? It's been a recurring problem.
Yes, sir, that is correct.
And the child was also recently diagnosed with asthma.
Correct.
Okay, what is the reason for requesting a hair strand on this uncle?
We were made aware of some videos on Facebook. The department was made aware that that Adonis did post. So we just wanted to make sure that everything is clear on that part.
Did Adonis tell y'all what he was smoking in those videos?
Judge, I'm going
He did not.
I'll object to hearsay at this point.
Sustain.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Anybody else have any questions, Ms. Murphy?
Yes, Your Honor, if I may, very briefly.
Okay.
Ms. Murphy, my name is Oliver Mintz. I'm the attorney for Mr. Gillespie. Are all of his referrals for services current?
They may not be. They were current when we had when I did have communication with him after he was released. So at the time, yes, they were, but I just heard from him yesterday.
And will you be reinitiating or refreshing or making sure that the current referrals are up to date and ready for him to begin working on his services?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe that Mr. Gillespie could benefit from outpatient treatment?
I do believe he could benefit from that.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask the court today to order Mr. Gillespie attend outpatient treatment and at the expense of the department.
You know, if he has his OSAR, if they recommend inpatient, I'm more likely to follow the OSAR recommendation, Mr. Mintz. What if we just say he comply with the OSAR recommendations?
Your Honor, the only objection I would make to that is so that he can continue to work and maintain his employment. I'm concerned. I mean, I know why we started out this case. I'm just kind of concerned. Hold that thought. Let me hear from everybody else. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Your Honor. And Ms. Murphy, one more question. Is it possible that we could logistically restart video visits with Mr. Gillespie after he's completed some initial set of drug testing?
I have no problem with that.
You would be able to facilitate that?
Yes, sir.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Grove, did you have questions?
Just a few. Miss Murphy, could you please hit the highlights on what you need to see Miss Gilbert be doing immediately to become compliant with her court-ordered service plan?
I'm just needing her to continue doing her drug tests and to see 3 clean tests, so that way she can be able to start up her visits again. Other than that, she's completed all services that we've asked of her. I know that she did tell me she got a vehicle the beginning of January. But other than that, that's all I'm aware we're asking from her is to continue to stay clean.
All right, I want to make sure that I understand. Is it your testimony today in court under oath that Miss Gilbert has completed all court-ordered services of her?
Correct.
Judge, I'd ask the court to make a docket entry or finding that mom has completed all of her court-ordered service plans.
I object to that. I'd like to ask her some follow-up questions.
Okay.
Agree.
Go on, Mr. I'll hold off on that ruling right now. Go on,
Thank
Mr.
you, Judge. I'll pass the witness for the follow-up questions, Judge. I'm interested.
Okay, Mr. Carl.
Ma'am, was she ordered to go to rehab?
The rehab was recommendations from the OSAR, which was ordered, and Miss Gilbert voluntarily went.
Is part of her service plan to stay clean?
Yes,
not use
sir.
drugs. Okay, if she tested positive just a few weeks ago, she's not complying with the court order for her to avoid or refrain from using illegal drugs. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, were there any recommendations in her psychological evaluation about substance treatment or or anything in OSAR about recommending treatment or related to relapse?
As far as the recommendations, it did state participating in some sort of outpatient or rehab, which Miss Gilbert is actively participating in outpatient and participates in NA meetings. I believe that she does that every Thursday for 2 hours.
She's actually done an inpatient rehab twice during the life of this case. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
How many times has she attended inpatient rehab in the past 13 months?
She has participated twice.
And after each period of inpatient, she has relapsed. Is that correct?
That is correct.
What did you say, Mr. Carl?
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions, Ms. Murphy? Ms. Mystic?
No, they were asked.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Grove, hold on. I have that written down. Mr. Sermer, next witness.
I don't have any other witnesses, Judge.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Grove. Any witnesses?
I do not have any witnesses right now, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mintz.
No witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Carl.
No witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's see. Mr. Cook, anything you'd like to add that's not in your report?
No, Your Honor, not at this time.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Mystic?
I sent you pictures. You can see this little guy's doing great. We met in a breakout room and discussed mediation, Judge, and I think it was an agreement from everybody that we think mediation would be a good idea with Emily Miller. I know June is our dismissal and finals in May, so with coordinating all the lawyers, it's probably good to start trying to get dates for that. And we talked about that it would work better with where everybody lives and works, that we do it by Zoom.
Okay. Okay. I'll order mediation with Emily Miller to occur before 5/21/25, which is our final court date.
Thank you.
Ms. Mystic, what are the what are we doing visitation wise, contact wise, virtual, in person? Or
Nothing.
maybe nothing? No virtual?
Nothing.
No virtual?
Oh, sorry.
No virtual for anybody? No nothing?
No, we wanted to get the 3 clean. We're kind of later in the case. We have an extension and we're still, obviously the dad, has had some things going on, is now back in the picture, if you will, since October. But we've had some positive tests even after extension. So I think with ad litem's and everybody and myself and Casa that we had said hold off. If the court wants to do virtual, obviously that's fine. The foster parents will accommodate. We just, he's getting older and just don't want a lot of confusion, but we also, depending on where this case goes, wants them to know who they are.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add? Okay, here's what I'm going to do today. Parents, y'all have a service claim. You have to comply. Your parental rights can be subject to termination. I'm going to order, I don't know, y'all might already have this. I don't know. I'm going to order that the uncle's Facebook posts are to be circulated to all parties in CASA by the department. So y'all kind of know what's going on and what's the need for the additional testing that Ms. Murphy testified to. I'm going to order that Mr. Gillespie is to submit to a new OSAR evaluation. Sorry, Mr. Mintz, I need him to follow the OSAR recommendations considering where we are in this case. Contact in consecutive UAs, then is agreed by CPS and ad litem's. I'm going to find that mom is Miss Gilbert is part partially complying with her service plan. Not going to say full compliance because we had positive UAs. I'm going to order mediation with Miss Miller before 3/21/25. And our next permanency hearing is did I say 5/21? Anyway, mediation before 5/21/25, not 3. And our next permanency hearing is 3/26/25. Okay. Anybody need anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, well, good luck, Karen. I'll get the meeting order done in a little bit, and I'll see y'all. Thank you. Your excuse. Thank you.
Mr. Carl, would you email me your amended intervention, please?
I will, and I will also circulate those Facebook posts to everybody. It might be easiest for me to do so with a large file that they are.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, y'all talk, make a plan, let me know, yay or nay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Everybody's going to testify. Please raise your hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're set for trial, but it's my understanding we're not going to have a trial today. We still have some work to do. Let's see. I was confused if Mr. David went back to Korea or he's still in Oklahoma. Couldn't really tell from the reports. Miss Simraldo's moved back to Texas, but I'm not sure anybody, but I think Casa's not sure where she is. Fosters want to move Elijah. I don't know why. Mr. David, we need a bunch of therapy records, not being able to get those. And I think Mr. Simraldo needs a test on the color scheme, but that's what I have. So, Mr. Shermer, you may begin.
Judge, I'd like to call Shadesha Jenkins.
Okay, please.
Ms. Jenkins, you're the caseworker, is that correct?
Yes.
Today, the department is asking for an extension in this case, is that correct?
Correct.
And do you believe that that there's a necessity for this case to remain open in order for the parents to continue to work services?
I do.
You believe that reunification with one or both of the parents is reasonable, assuming that they continue to work their service plans?
Yes.
Okay. Can you update the court about the status of where the father is now?
The father is in Oklahoma. He was supposed to go back to Korea next year, but since the case is being extended, they're going to allow him to stay stateside. So he should be able to get his stuff done.
Okay. And then what about placement? What's going on with placement?
So Rosalie and Peyton, are still placed together, and Elijah was moved into a therapeutic home. He has behaviors that need special attention, and the home that he was moved to, they're skilled to accommodate those conditions.
Okay. And then mother's drug testing, I believe the judge brought that up. What's going on with the drug testing?
So mom is not on the color system because she moved to Oklahoma, and when she came back, I just didn't reestablish that, but I can do that. She did go drug test today. Obviously, I wouldn't have the results back, but I can definitely make that happen.
Okay. And it looks just from your report that there was really just one positive drug test in this case. Is that correct?
To my recollection, yes, sir.
Okay, but there was also a positive alcohol test as well.
Yes.
So is the
And that's what
department?
the positive was for, actually, the positive test.
Okay, it looks like there was a hair test back in March of 2024 that was positive for marijuana. Do you recall that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do. I apologize.
Primarily, we're just testing for alcohol. Is that correct?
We're actually testing for both.
Oh, okay. But you're going to get her back on the color scheme at this point?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you need to make the court aware of?
I just want to let the court know that the children are doing really well. Even with Elijah being separated from his sisters, he is thriving where he is at. The girls are actually thriving and have had less behavioral outbursts with Elijah not in the home. So I think that even though we did, separate them, that they are definitely doing much better in their placements.
Okay. And lastly, the attorneys, I know you were not a part of this conversation, but the attorneys discussed, and CASA discussed, increasing visits for the parents, potentially working up to unsupervised visits. If the court were to enter an order today saying that the parents could have increased visits, including unsupervised as agreed by the department and ad litem's, would you have a problem with that?
You broke up through that whole thing.
I'm sorry. If the court entered an order saying that the parents could have increased visits to include unsupervised visits as agreed by the department and ad litem's for the children, would that be something that the department could work with?
Yes, sir. For mom, not for dad.
Okay, the department's not recommending unsupervised or increased visits for dad at this point.
No.
However, if the court enters an order that says that, though, and the father gets really proactive on the service plan, do you think that we could get to a place where the department would recommend some increased time for him?
Yes, if he gets proactive on his service plan and really gets into therapy.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
Anybody have any questions for the caseworker?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Jenkins, would you say that Ms. Smeraldo has made progress since the beginning of this case?
Yes, I do.
How would you describe Ms. Smeraldo's efforts and participation in the case now?
I believe that she did have some hiccups and some fallbacks, but since she's come back to Texas, I feel like she's really hit the ball running and she has been doing well.
Okay. Have you had an opportunity to go to the home where she's currently living?
No, ma'am.
Do you know where she's currently living?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know who she's currently living with?
Yes.
Who is she currently living with?
She's currently living with Jordan Baker. We did a home study on him prior, and the only reason why that home study was denied was because the department did not feel like he was capable of taking care of the children, and he didn't have a family care plan because he's really young and he's active duty.
So with Robin moving back to Texas and moving in with her friend, Mr. Baker, would the department approve of Rosalie and Peyton moving into that home?
Not at this time.
Well, what about further on in the case, once we're ready for a monitored return? Would the department approve of that home for the children?
At this time, I can't answer the question the way that you would probably want me to, so I'm going to say no.
Okay. What are some barriers to that? Right. Well, is that a situation that you would come back to once at the appropriate time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did the department have any safety concerns with Jordan Baker or with his home?
No, ma'am.
If Ms. Smeraldo is allowed to have unsupervised visits, would you have a problem with her getting overnight visits at this point in the case?
I think that's moving ahead a lot. So I'm going to say not right now, no.
Okay. But you would support her having unsupervised visits outside of the department with Peyton and Rosalie for a few hours?
Yes.
Okay. There's some hesitation. I want to give you an opportunity to explain.
That really wasn't discussed on whether or not we were moving to unsupervised. We just started extended supervised visits. So I think that's moving awfully fast. I know we're late in the case, but she just really hit the ground running.
Yes, ma'am. And so if the judge today orders that Ms. Smeraldo is still going to have a few supervised visits with CASA or with the department outside of the department, are you in support of that if they're still supervised for a while?
I didn't quite understand your question.
So if the judge orders that Ms. Smeraldo's visits can be outside of the department but still supervised, would you support that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you believe that Robin has made enough progress up to this point that she can be trusted to have visits outside of the department if they're supervised?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any other concerns about Ms. Smeraldo or Mr. David that you haven't been able to address during this hearing?
No.
Okay. Are you sure?
I think it's all in my court report, so I think that it's good.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Jenkins.
You're welcome,
Your Honor. Also, actually,
go on. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, it's okay. If I could, I just want it to be on whatever record that we may have, that Ms. Jenkins has been absolutely outstanding in this case. When Robin decided to move back to Texas, Ms. Jenkins was on the phone with me nights and weekends, trying to help and get resources together. And I just cannot say enough good things about Ms. Jenkins and her efforts to help these children. I just want the court to know.
Okay, great. That's really nice. Thank you, Ms. Chandler. Appreciate that. Don't hear that very often, so that's a good thing. So good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Gustafson, any questions of Ms. Jenkins?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Mystic?
It sounds like from the testimony that Robin is doing well, and that any visits besides the supervised right now should be at the agreement of the department, CASA, and myself.
Yes.
Okay, but if we all agree for, say, CASA to go supervise a visit at where Miss Smeraldo's living, as long as everybody agrees with that, then the department would assess that and let us know, correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Oh, I'm sorry, and this may have been testified to, but the sibling visits are happening, going to happen. You're going to transport Miss Smeraldo with the girls. Is it every other week to go visit Elijah?
Yes, ma'am, for 2 hours.
Okay. And then, of course, Robin has her visits local here. And then Mr. David, as far as virtual visits, but if he comes down, it sounds like right now it would still be supervised at the department, unless he gets some therapy recommendations and signs some releases and things like that.
Correct.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Any question, Ms. Jenkins?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Ms. Jenkins, the attorneys in CASA spoke about your offer to transport Ms. Smeraldo to Waxahachie with the girls to visit Elijah for his sibling visits. Just so the court is aware, is something that when you are able to do, you will, but it's not something that you can't make a guarantee that you're going to be able to do that every single time. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't want it to be part of the court order that Ms. Jenkins is responsible for transporting Ms. Smeraldo up to Waxahachie, just because that's overly burdensome, I believe, on Ms. Jenkins, but she has been extremely kind in offering to include Ms. Smeraldo on those trips to Waxahachie.
Great, thank you. Yeah, no, I wouldn't order her to do that all the time. Anyway, yeah, that's good. Okay, thank you. Ms. Jenkins, I'm a little confused.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you gotten Dad's therapy records from where he's doing it in Oklahoma?
So Dad's not actually doing therapy in Oklahoma. He could probably explain it a little better than I can, but the bottom line is his insurance is taking a long time to get it approved. So he sees the chaplain and I believe, I don't remember the name of the person, but someone else, like on a monthly basis. He has provided like a different assessments that he has taken, and those should be like e-filed, but no, he hasn't done any therapy.
What do you think about all that?
I think that I'm not happy.
Because I mean, in the past, when we have soldiers that are at Fort Cavazos, everybody's able to get services on post, I believe.
So if I'm not mistaken, he's at a smaller post, so their operations are different. I am a military spouse and I have been for about 16 years, so his situation definitely is odd to me, but it's possible.
And Your Honor, there was a problem when he was in Korea that he could not do virtual counseling because the counselor was not licensed to do counseling while he was in Korea. The counselor actually said that he was not able to do it virtually because Mr. David was not in Texas. So that caused a problem as well.
Well, Ms. Gustafson, how are we going to get your client into individual therapy?
I think that perhaps finding someone where he's at, I do know that there's financial issues that have kept him from hiring someone privately to do so.
Judge, may I speak?
Yes, ma'am.
He has been back stateside since, I believe, late August, early September, just so everyone's aware. I think that's been a really long time.
Yeah. I believe I read in the report that they've done a couple of couples counseling. Did I read that correctly?
Yes, ma'am. So they tried couples counseling, and the first time they weren't really able to communicate. That happened the second time as well. And then the third time, they only lasted about 15 minutes because they were just so much at each other. The therapist recommended that Mr. David start his therapy, Robin continue her therapy, and then come back together because we were doing it as a co-parenting way, like a way to help them co-parent because they're going to have to. But yeah, right now that's what happened.
Well, then sounds like individual therapy for the dad is rather important then, huh?
Yes, ma'am. I think it's extremely important, especially based off of what his psychological and his psychiatric review says.
Ms. Gustafson, what are we going to do about that?
Your Honor, I will certainly speak to my client about it again.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. That was one of my questions. My other question was, Miss Jenkins, Miss Robin is living with some guy on post, a younger soldier, and he said friend. Now there's a bunch of definitions of friend. Explain to me friend.
So it's not on post first, it's off post in a 2-bedroom apartment. So I believe they are friends and they may be more than friends sometimes, but I don't have any evidence to prove that they are just platonic friends or not just platonic friends.
Okay, but if we have somebody where our children were to move to, that person is also required to complete a service plan, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are we going to do about this gentleman and a service plan?
That hasn't been addressed because we haven't even touched on unsupervised visits as of yet. So I'm not sure.
Well, when we only have a 6-month extension till April, and sometime, I mean, you know, we have parents that, August. Mr. David's been back since August, and he hasn't done his counseling, so it could take this guy a long time to do counseling, right?
Yes, ma'am. I can actually get everything set up today. I can have him do a psychological and see what the psychological says and go from there. Drug testing, things like that.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions, Ms. Jenkins?
Yeah, wasn't there a home study done on this gentleman?
Yes, ma'am, and yes, ma'am.
And my understanding of why it didn't pass, it wasn't like drugs or history. It was just a single soldier and he's young.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is that something you could send to us? I mean, I'm not trying to say he doesn't need a service plan, but that might be helpful since they look into background things in the home studies. And
Yes, ma'am.
I understand. Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, and maybe if he does a service plan, that'll help, blah, blah, with all that situation. Okay. Anybody else have any questions, Ms. Jenkins?
Yes, Your Honor. I don't know if Ms. Jenkins is the right witness to ask this, but have the parents told you whether they plan to divorce?
Yes.
And have they said that yes, they do plan to get divorced?
Yes.
Okay. Has the department taken that into consideration when moving forward with this case?
Yes.
Okay. As it's that's it. That's the extent of the questions I want to go into. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, Ms. Sturmer, next witness.
I don't have any other witnesses, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Chandler, any witnesses?
If the court would like to hear from Ms. Smeraldo, I could call Ms. Smeraldo. Otherwise,
I'm good. I have good orders. I'm good.
Okay. Then no further witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Gustafson?
I have no witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, Casa, let's see, is it Ms. Moore? Is it you only? Let's see, I already.
Your Honor, my advocate is here, but if you don't mind me speaking today.
Okay, I don't care.
So I just wanted to clarify too, I think it maybe was accidentally mentioned that CASA would supervise the visits. I just want to let y'all know that we plan to observe them, and if there are no concerns, then, department ad litems and CASA talk about moving to unsupervised for mom. We also would like to, if everything is going well, we will help with beds for the kids, and that was something that had been discussed beforehand. And then additionally, I'd like to add that I know that Peyton was in an after-school program and you had ordered for the department to pay for that. And then she went home. So now she's back at a new school. She is obsessed with this school. She loves it. And there is another after-school program that the foster parents thought would really benefit her. So if you wouldn't mind doing another order for her to restart that after-school program, I think that would really benefit her. I know that Peyton and Rosalie are doing well. The foster mom has also been really active in getting Rosalie evaluated and making sure that all of her educational needs are being met. And then we've had some pretty crazy schedules, so we plan to see Elijah very soon and to go and check on the girls again.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Miss Mystic?
I have no witnesses, Judge. Kind of the emails, we were a little apprehensive about moving Elijah and not keeping the kids together, but based on the situation that was going on with them, this seems to have been the best for him and for the girls. And I'm glad to hear that they are going to be having sibling visits. So I'm good. And I sent you pictures.
Yeah, they were very cute, super cute. And they were together, it looked like they were together at Christmas. So,
yeah.
Okay, parents, y'all have a service plan. You have to comply with your service plan or your parental rights can be subject to termination. My orders today are both parents visit as agreed by CPS and ad litems. Ms. Smeraldo is to be on the drug and alcohol color scheme. Sibling visits are to occur no less than 2 times per month. I'm going to say we have an agreed extension in this case. The man Ms. Smeraldo lives with is to complete a service plan created by CPS. Mr. David is into individual therapy ASAP, no later than 2/5/25. Sounds like we can't really get going until we get that done. After school program is to restart. Our new court dates under the extension are as follows. Next perm is 4/16/25. Second perm is 6/25/25. Hold on, and our final trial to get that far is 8/20/25. Our new dismissal date is 8/23/25. Ms. Jenkins, yes, ma'am.
I don't know if it's appropriate for me to let the court know, but Mr. David stated that he wants a DNA test on Peyton and Elijah. He just told me yesterday.
He's on their birth certificate, if my understanding. If he wants it, he's going to have to pay for it himself.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I'm sorry.
What do y'all think? It Lidums.
I mean, the age of the children, and is this a fraud case? You know, I mean, I think that would have to be established with the age of the kiddos. And he's 21 months, so I guess 4 years. I guess with the two younger, it's under 4 years, but I don't know. I mean, I think he needs to pay for it, yes, because this could have been brought up.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to pay for it, that's fine. I mean, I'm worried about individual counseling and all that. So, Ms. Gustafson, y'all need to visit about that.
Yes, this is news to me. I did not know about that.
Okay, y'all can visit about that?
Yes, we will.
I mean,
And Judge, you granted, sorry.
I'm happy to make the children available for that down here, at a lab somewhere close to where they live, but I'm not going to just jump all over that without, some more information.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Mystic?
I was just going to announce about child support. I'm sorry.
Go on.
I think Mr. David, had paid the $600 a month that began in March and made a payment. 11/19 was the last payment of $600. If he sent December, that's what I
apologize, ma'am. He said he wasn't able to get a hold of you for December and the first half of this month. So he has been giving it directly to myself and to the caregiver. So he has been paying.
Okay. Just in the future, make sure it comes through my office if y'all get it, so we can document it, because I show he's behind.
So
thank you.
if they give a check. Okay. Well, I didn't know. I apologize.
That's okay. That's just, I want to get in trouble by a judge. I mean, that's fine. Yeah.
Well, I had advised Mr. David to pay through your office.
Yes.
Yeah. Miss Jenkins, I'd rather you just not take the money and tell him he needs to pay his court ordered and go through Miss Mystic. It just covers everybody.
I'll give him my cell.
Yeah.
I don't mind if Jana gives him my cell number and he can text me and I can make those arrangements. Because we were closed just the last, from the 23rd to the 30th. So, but I understand, but he can have my cell, Jana.
Okay.
So December and January are paid? $600 each month? Okay. Thank you.
Your Honor, I just want to make sure that I got all of your orders down. I don't like to miss them in my notes. Would you mind going back through them? Or I can tell you what I have.
Parents visits as increased. Parents visit is agreed by CPS and ad litem. Mom on drug, alcohol, color scheme. Sibling visits to occur no less than 2 times per month. Extension granted per agreement. Mom lives with is to complete a service plan created by CPS. Dad into individual therapy, no ASAP, no later than 2/5/25. After school program to restart. Next permanency hearing is 4/16.
Thank you.
I think that's all. Okay, like I said, good luck to y'all on your service plan, and we'll see y'all on 4/16. Thank you.
Your Honor, say something really quick, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, sorry. I just wanted to make a note, and it may not be I don't know if it's appropriate for me to just suggest this or not, but over the last 6 months, we've seen a lot of growth, and we worked really, really hard to get the kids where they are right now. And in light of the move with Elijah to a therapeutic home, the girls are doing exceptionally well. I would just like to recommend that if and when the time comes that the kids are ready to go back home with bios, if there might be some assistance in working with the parent and engaging the children in appropriate relationships with each other, that was a really big major issue in our home. And it's not that the kids are having a hard time with other children, because they're able to function and get along properly and appropriately with other children in the home, just not each other. And so we've been working really hard on appropriate interactions. And I just want to make note of that, because I think it'll be really successful transition, and any support that she can get in that aspect, I would just highly recommend, because they are on the right track and they are doing really well.
Okay. Y'all write that down. We're obviously not there yet. We get to monitor return. That'll be some, group therapy amongst the siblings for them together, wherever the mom or the dad or, wherever the children go home to. So thank you, ma'am. That's good news. And I'm sure that, y'all are working on your thing, and Elijah's foster mom is working on their thing. And, when y'all get them together, y'all are working together. So, probably just a lot going on. So that's good.
Definitely. And I know that it's not typically an ideal situation to separate siblings, but as I mentioned, over the last 6 months, we kind of did some experimenting and, okay, what's going to work, what's not going to work. So please know that the decision for us to put notice on Elijah was not taken lightly. And it was something that we put a lot of thought into to make sure that, home arrangements and the quality of life for everybody was working.
We didn't talk any smack about you today. You're good. No, it happens a lot. I mean, the best news is
Right.
we were able to find a therapeutic foster home that he could go to. That's amazing. So yay to his therapeutic foster mom. Yay.
Yes. And I had no idea that, when you have a specialized child, if you need respite, it had to go to a specialized licensed facility. And honestly, that was our biggest challenge. Elijah was not really able to go out of routine or to travel the way that our family does. And so unfortunately, because we couldn't find respite, that is kind of like where we ended up being. But we tried really hard. And he was doing great too. So I'm so happy to hear that he's doing really good with his home. So I'm very optimistic, and I think that this is going in a great direction for everybody.
I agree. So, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Miller.
Okay.
And thank
Bye.
you, Ms. Fulbright.
Y'all have a good day. Thank you. One more case. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is my last case this morning. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. See you later.
Stay warm.
Please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Why do I have two Emmas on here? Emma foster parent and Emma.
That's me. I'm going to get off on my other computer.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Galvin, Ms. Hyde, y'all may begin, please. This is y'all's motion.
Thank you, Judge. We filed a motion to reconsider. Just to give a brief background to the court. We had mediation, and in our immediate settlement agreement, there was language in there and where the parties agreed. It was a partial mediated settlement agreement. The father didn't sign it, just to be clear on that. So we had a trial on the father's issues and proved up the mother's termination based on the MSA. In the MSA, we had language in there in which the court made its orders, the final orders in which
Wait, time out. Hold on. Where's Miss Mystic? Might need her. Hold on. Okay, hold on just a second, Mr. Gallion.
Not a problem, Judge.
Sorry, I should have noticed that.
You call it. Hello?
You have court, Harkham. Right now.
I'm sorry about that. I didn't have it on my paper.
Now they filed a motion with the notice of setting on it. Come on back.
I am so sorry. Okay, I'm coming back.
Okay, bye. Okay, you don't need to start over, Mr. Galvin. Just go over where you were. She missed it. It's her problem.
And we've spoken with Miss Mystic about it. So the end result, Judge, is that we have a final order in which the Lees were appointed non-parent managing conservators. The issue and why we filed the motion for reconsideration is that it appears that the child has or will be diagnosed with a qualifying lifelong condition that would make her eligible for the adoption subsidy. She has an upcoming sleep study that they're going to be looking at several things during that sleep study. There may be some neurological issues there. She hasn't made much progress with her physical, occupational, and speech therapy. She's sort of pretty much still stuck in the same range, and she's been going through therapy for about a year plus now. So post final order and discussing this with our clients, they would like the opportunity for the department to be named managing conservator, them to be named possessor conservator, still move towards adoption, and hopefully in the next couple of months, while we're gearing up for the adoption, we can get more information from the medical team that's working with her. We know that the pediatrician believes that she has a lifelong condition. We just don't have that from the specialist yet, but we think we're going to get there. And so if that happens prior to the date of adoption, we could see if we could work with benefits and see if she qualifies then for some subsidies in future medical care. So that is why we're asking for what we're asking for. There's no intention of not adopting the child. We just want to see if we can, dot our T's or dot our I's, cross our T's before we get to the adoption and for the benefit and what's in the best interest of kiddo.
Mr. Galvin, did y'all not know that? I mean, I always thought it was kind of weird when y'all did it that way anyway, but that's just me. Did y'all not know about these medical issues until recently, or why now, basically?
Well, I think really what happened was that after mediation, I think more information came about, and I think more information is coming about. So we don't know. I see I'm freezing, so I don't know if my audio is freezing, but my video is.
I can hear you.
Okay, so we don't know, quite honestly, Judge, whether she's going to qualify. We think there is a likelihood that she is, and I think there's just more information's come about since a couple of months ago, or a month ago when we did the actual trial, but 2 months ago when we did the mediation. So we're just trying to explore what that more information is and to see whether she does qualify. So to answer your question, a lot of it was known. The severity and the duration of how long her conditions may be last, especially the neurological component of it, is a little bit more. We got a little bit more information about the seizure activity, and so that's part of the testing. Ideally, they like to put EKGs on her for about a week or 4 days and have her run around and see what's happening. She probably wouldn't tolerate that, so they're trying to get creative on what's the best way to try to pinpoint when she is having these episodes where she disassociates or may be having seizure activity. So yeah, to answer your question, we knew some of it. Clearly, it's been going on for a while. The severity and duration is the part that's been a little bit more. It's coming more into clarity now.
So basically, we're going to do an adoption, whether it's with benefits or without benefits. We just need a little bit more time to see medically wise, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. So basically, the department would have to send this to the adoption unit and just kind of rock along in there for a while.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Sturmer, anything else, Mr. Galvin?
No, Judge. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Sturmer, y'all have a response?
Judge, I think that, if the child would have the perspective or the option to receive these benefits, I don't think the department would necessarily have a problem with it, but I don't know that there's a guarantee that the child is going to receive the benefits. And so I think that we would probably ask that you not rule on this at this time until we can get something concrete that would show that the child would qualify before you rename the department as the managing conservators.
But don't know how long that would be and how I don't remember when I signed the order. What about losing jurisdiction, all that kind of stuff. Mr. Galvin, can you address some of that, Mr. Sturmer's concerns and what I brought up?
Yeah, I think the order was signed, if I remember correctly, January 6th. So we're still, I may be off a day or two, but it was on or about January 6th. So we're still within that 30-day plenary power window. I would be concerned about that too. Additionally, Judge, there's I guess there's cost to this too that's associated. There's medical cost. So the Medicaid that the child was currently on. So if we could somehow, get the child back on Medicaid and daycare taken care of while this is happening. I don't know how that happens in this situation without the department being named
Right.
managing conservator. So that's the other component of this.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Moore, Casa.
Your Honor, we would just have to absolutely twist my advocate's arm to go see this adorable little girl and her favorite foster parents again. No, she's like, we are all for this. I want Oakland to have everything she needs and more. I know that the Lees are going to provide that. So if we can help them provide that, I'm all for it. I mean, they have been amazing for a pretty tough case that was open way too long. And I would recommend that she be on Medicaid. I would recommend that daycare be paid for. Just seeing the way that they took care of this little girl and her needs, I would fully support helping them out with this.
Okay. Is Mr. Galvin, is your client's other child in daycare?
I don't know, Judge. I can ask that they can answer that. Or Mr. Lee is shaking his head yes. So
I didn't want to put Oakland in and when her sibling wasn't. So okay. Miss Mystic.
Judge, like Casa, I fully support the department being named as the permanent managing, and that at least, so let's just say we find out we can't get the stipend or benefits, at least until that's found out, the Medicaid's intact, the daycare's paid for, and we have some time to work on this.
Okay. I see both sides, but I think it's definitely in the child's best interest. Okay, I'm going to grant the motion to reconsider. I'm going to name the department as permanent managing conservator of Oakland. I'm going to order the department to provide child care, and I'm going to set this for a perm after hearing on 4/2. Mr. Galvin and Ms. Hyde, if y'all know anything before then, that's cool. We can get it done. I don't know. Y'all did this all day long. Since we're back with the department PMC, do we have to wait 6 months? We have to do more home studies, blah, blah, blah. What about all that?
I don't believe the 6 months is an issue, Judge. The 90 days for the relatives standing under 10206 isn't impacted at all by this. That started back when the court rendered its order orally back in December. I don't believe, and Ms. Hyde can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe there's any need for another home study or anything along those lines. Adoption people will take care of that component and get that together, but I don't think it really creates any hardships.
Okay. Because as soon as we know, I just didn't get in and get out, so whatever. Okay, so let me see. CPS provide child care, motion granted. CPS is named permanent managing conservator, first perm after 4/2/25. Anybody need anything else? I think we put the child name at PMC, the child's on put back on the Medicaid. So
we'll prepare an order, Judge.
Okay.
Judge, I would ask if Mr. Sturmer could just have his client, sorry, I don't know what I just did. If Mr. Sturmer could have his client let me know when they're able to get this staff with the adoption unit, I would appreciate that. I know they have to sign up for it, but if they could just let me know when that date is, that would be great.
Autumn, can you take care of that?
Yeah, we can do that. The issue right now is we've closed the case. It's completely closed. So now I have to staff it up, and I'll get with options to see what they need to do about reopening the case and changing the legal status and everything.
Thank you, Autumn.
So Autumn, if there's any problems, you can just refer them to Ms. Hyde or Mr. Galvin. They can help you out on that.